Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today's video, which is the 7th lecture of fundamentals on C++ programming, I'm going to make a calculator, a primary calculator in Visual Studio. And once the project is completed, we will use Git, which is a distributed version control system, in order to upload a copy of our project to GitHub. GitHub will host our project and can be used to collaborate and communicate with other developers if we have anyone, maybe our friends and colleagues, who can use the copy of our project in order to contribute and help us in developing our software or our project in the future. Now we go to the Visual Studio. You see my screen. We first create a new project. Today we use console app with C++ for Windows and console. As you see, it has 2-star here. Click on this console app next. And here we basically write, for example, my calculator. So our project name is my calculator, and we create our project. A new page appears. Basically, there are some comments, default comments that we can remove. And he says my calculator C++. This file contains the main function. Program execution begins and here. As we know, every project and every program has one main function. So here what we can write is main function for my calculator program. And we can remove the rest, so not need them, but if you are interested, you can read it. In order to make it shorter and easier, that we need to write using name space std, which stands for standard library, and then we do not need to write this part of the function. Basically, this is our project, and we can run it, and we can click on local Windows debugger, or just go to the start without debugging, just runs the code. And if we do debug, the code basically the code runs successfully, and we see the message hello world. But we want to make a calculator today. We can write here, select one of the options in the menu for calculator. We can say menu. If we have two numbers, A and B, we can add these two. We can subtract these two. We can multiply them, as well as we can do division. This is what we want for this project. And of course, it runs successfully again. To make a calculator, we basically go to the build solution in order to create the solution here. We also go to the project here, and we can add a class. Of course, we can make the class ourselves just by clicking add file on the header file and source file, but it is much easier to create a class in our project. We call this my calculator. Yeah, it creates two files, one header file with extension .h and another file uh, with extension cpp, which is the source file. Click on OK, the class name. So you can write a comment, class name. And here we can use the public specifier in order to create a function. Declare a function. For example, we here say double calculate, and inside this we can write double a char operation, because operation is not a number, so we use char. And for the other number, we call it double b. For function in the class, my calculator is created, and this is declaration of the function calculate. You see an underlined zigzag underline under calculator, and um, it can be used basically to create a function. So we click on the button, and here you see there are options. Create a definition of calculator in my calculator.cpp. So I click on it, and here basically I already have created a definition for the function calculate. So here I say definition. We want to add arithmetic operations, plus, minus, subtraction, and division. And one thing to remember, it automatically includes the header file for my calculator. Okay, we now add functions inside this my calculator. Okay, once we have defined our function, my calculator, we can basically switch between the operations. So there are 4 operations for our project. Of course, we will try to develop this calculator in the next videos. Here, I can switch between the operations. Switch. Inside we say operations. Here we can have different cases. For case 1, we say pass, and for that we can say return a plus b. I do have a problem here, so it's return a plus b. And the next case is minus, and we say return a minus b. The next case is multiplication, and here we say a times b. So it must be returned. And the last case is the division, and we write the symbol division, and this is return a over b. These are 4 cases for the operations, and the switch command basically switches the operation. After our function is defined, we run, of course, again, and we see that it runs successfully. However, we need to define this my calculator function inside the main function, which is my calculator .cpp. To use that function, we first initialize our variables, basically double a equals to 0.0 and double b equals to 0.0 and result equals to 0.0. I have to include my calculator dot h. We have declared all the variables except the char, and for the char we can say char operation equals to for example plus. These are the declarations. We already have a class called myCalculator. Here we can create an instance of the calculator, basically an object. We can write my calculator. The instance of the calculator is created. And now we go to the definition of the functions. So we say while true, we use a while loop statement here, and inside the parentheses, we say for entry, so cin, where a, and then operation, and then basically b are added. The user just enters a operations and b. We can apply the operations on a and b. For addition, subtraction, multiplication, we can do any operations, but for the division, we need to add a condition for the zero numerator. So we cannot divide a number by zero. So we need to add a condition, and the condition is that if operation equals to the division, in that case, b equals to 0, so we need to return a statement which says a number should not be or cannot be divided by 0. This is in case when we have a division by 0. Otherwise, so else if statement, we can write result equals to result of a operation, b, here we will say is, and here we say result. And otherwise, it must return 0 because here we have integer main and function is calculate. Here we should write continue, operation should continue in case we have a division by 0. Just go to the myCalculator CPP, and here I think I just write the real multiplier here because it is really an operation. So we go to the myCalculator CPP, the main function, and here we click again on the debugging, and then I show you the result. It runs successfully. So we test our code. For example, 50 plus 54 is 104. 12 minus 5 is 7. 45 times 87 equals to 3,915, and 78 divided by 3 equals to 26, and 50 divided by 0 is, here a number cannot be divided by 0. That's all for this project. We will continue building more functions and operations on this calculator in the future. Okay, now we go to the second part of the lecture, which is about Git. I will explain what Git is and how we use it. Basically, I will explain the main functions, and then we go to the GitHub, where I will explain the interface of GitHub and how we use it in order to communicate and collaborate with other developers. We go to, let's see, it is a free and open source software. It is a distributed version control system, tracks versions of files and projects by storing incremental changes, which are called commits, as you already saw in the GitHub. Yeah, and this includes the author, the commit includes the author, message, timestamp, and commit ID, which is generated by Git, and the data is stored in a .git folder, which is called Git repository. Git basically controls the source code and software development, and it also manages the communication for changes when multiple developers and servers are participating in the project. The code is mainly stored in a remote server called a central repository, and developers may have a copy of the code in their local machines with various development progress. So everyone who has a copy of the project may have different levels of progress. And after installing the Git software, we can create a copy of a repository in the current directory of our terminal window by cloning the URL of the code. Git clone URL. There are some functions and comments where they are basically executed to communicate between the GitHub and your local machine. Git commands synchronize changes in different repositories. So you have a local repository in a main or master repository, and then you can have also other repositories. So different branches of your project, and you use these commands to basically synchronize changes. Git push basically uploads the changes or commits to the remote repository. And Git pull downloads the changes from remote the repository pushed by others to the local repository. And there can be various branches of the main repository master. So to make a new branch, we use the command git checkout branch, and this creates a branch for the master. Basically, the switch command is used to switch between different branches of the repository. And git checkout master makes the current branch to be master. And once all the changes are made and we are sure, we can merge branch to the master. We can also create a repository by git init and also add files to the current Git repository with the git add, and also can write the message in the commit in case we have committed and brought changes to the current repository. For the Git, we once I'm sure that it runs successfully, I will go to the right bottom, and here says add to source control. So once I click here, you see the icon Git, and so I click on the Git, add this repository into the GitHub. Basically, if you have an account, I do have an account, but if you don't have, then you can create an account in GitHub, which is not difficult. And then you can just write, create, and push. And now I go to my GitHub account, say GitHub. And if you see here, it goes directly to my account. I already have one, as I told you earlier. So here I do have my projects here, calculator in my calculator. For the my calculator, you see I have added commits here, so 1 minute ago, and the files are already uploaded into the GitHub. Once it is uploaded, then we can basically share our repository with our colleagues, friends, or it could be public. Anyone can have access to it, and they can also contribute to the development of this particular program or project. Here, the GitHub basically have different parts. It has the code here. I do have, you see it, and it might have different branches. Currently, it has just one branch, and we can also add files from here. Basically, we can upload or create a new file. We can also just copy and share this repository with others. And we can also get a pull this to another device. There are also issues. You can basically track issues here. You can create new issues and then track it. You can see pull requests here. If anyone wants to have a copy of this, you can basically see it here. There is an action part, projects. If you have multiple projects, you can basically see here, and of course there might be other parts, security, insight, in settings, which I will not go to. These today's session might get longer than expected. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and subscribe our channel. If you are interested, we will share more videos about C++ programming, and we will continue working on C++ programming. Thank you, and wishing you all the best.